Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. I've entitled this one today, Time for Reason. I'm going to wait for a few of you gorgeous souls to pop in. We're going to be talking about lots of stuff. Debate me. Let's find out what's really going on. Let's find out what's really going on. Let's just wait for a few of you. I have to say, I do enjoy my friend Cedric Edwards, who's out in Spain. Is he a powerhouse of knowledge, that boy? Woo! Man, I'm loving him. So, we're going to be talking about sort of how we got where we are, unlawful conversion and constructive fraud. I don't know if that means anything to you guys, but you go and speak with any of your neighbours that live round your way. They might have nice Range Rovers. They might have a Porsche. I've got a push bike. See that bike there? That's my bike. No one can take it off me. Not that I know of, anyway. Can that be said for the man that has the Range Rover or the Porsche? Not a chance. Absolutely not a chance. And we're going to be talking about all this stuff. It's about time that the world knew what was going on. I've come over to do a gym workout in a minute, so this is going to be, I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes long. How big was the demo in Liverpool? I'm not sure, but there was a lot of demos out there yesterday. Minor 52, lovely to see you. I'm Ben Down. Happy days, how are you? Tom Beresford, hey, gorgeous. People are rising. Yes, they are, Kenny Mac. Yes, they are, brother. So, that bike behind me, as you can see, is in my training gym. Here we go. Oh, look at this watcher. Hang on. Oh, that's how they bend you in a police cell, isn't it? Get round there. Get round there. I watched an interesting video yesterday. Actually, let's top that story off before I digress. So, that bike's mine, yeah? That bike behind you is on a rolling road. Can you see me rolling roads? Oh, yes. That's how we roll. That's my bike. Yeah, Tom Beresford. Like your V for Vendetta, Miles. You like that? Yeah, it's all right, isn't it? Well, I've had that quite a few years, to be fair. That's probably got to be 7, 8 years old. It's my V for Vendetta. I don't wear a mask in a shop, Tom. I don't wear muzzles. You're not going to muzzle me. COVID cover. It's the New World Orders. It's the New World Orders. The COVID cover, I'll call it now. It's the New World Order, isn't it? It's like, do as you're told, bitches. Huge turnout in Dublin yesterday. Oh, mate, I'm telling you something now, right? Although my hair's a bit lively today, I'm so in awe of everybody that's turning out, man. It's amazing. So, we're going to be talking about some truths today. Some of the truths I talk about, a lot of people will turn away from. They can't handle them. It's like, whoa, no, I ain't listening to this. This guy's touching on some stuff that I don't want to hear. Put your head in the sands. Bury your heads in the sand. Loads of people bury their heads in the sands. But the way I look at it is this. We're always dodging the bullet. We're always dodging that bullet, aren't we? We're always dodging. Went out on a nice drive, got home, no police interaction. I know you must feel that. And there was a day when the police were there to protect us. They're not there for that now. They're there to enforce corporatocracy. That's all they're there for, to nick your stuff. So, the guy that has the Range Rover, the guy that has the Porsche, they don't have true equity over it. Because they're the keeper. And the keeper is someone who watches and looks after, does all the shit, puts the windscreen wipers on it, puts the new tyres on it. Yeah, it's very clever, this system, how it works. It's fascism and communism. I'd like to say it's communism because communism is worldwide, whereas fascism is one particular country or a couple of particular countries. It's not. Communism is a global. It's a worldwide thing. Communism. But they're both really ideally the same thing. Nobody owns anything, although they think they do. And that's the clever part about this, isn't it? So you get your little Range Rover or you get your Porsche and you register it and you become the keeper. You do all the shit stuff, all the tyres, the windscreen wipers, the blades, the fluffy dice up front. You put your missus's name up the front and you over that. I remember back in the 70s, everyone in their Cortinas, they all had Sharon and Tracy all up in the windscreens there, yeah. Going down the road, bosh. You knew who everyone was back then. Now everyone's got their windscreens blacked out. But back then, everyone was like, if they was in a relationship, they were pull on and off quite easy. You know, just in case you dump your bird 1 week and you started going out with someone else, you just whip that one off and change the name. It was lovely. It was good times. It's a fantastic film from the 70s called Party Party. Let me tell you, it's one of the funniest films you'll ever see if you can find it anywhere. And before, I just want to touch on that. Rick Mal, his film One by One, is up on YouTube right now. So you can go now, oh, Capri Gear. All right, Rodders, fire up the Capri Gear. Bosh. Listen, them Capris, they're fetching some right royal dollar nowadays. Oh, yes, there was one up there I see on the other day, 37.5 of your finest £1,000. So the point is this. I always try and get to a point. Maybe sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. We're the keeper. We give up ownership. So we live in this communistic state where the police pull you out, license, registration, insurance. To me, it's like apples, pears, and bananas. What are you asking for? What the fuck? What are you asking for? So they deem to own you. They've pulled you over. They've arrested you, and arrest means to stop. Where's the crime? Have I hurt anybody? Nah, you got no MOT. Well, is that a crime? Yeah. How can it be a crime? It's a piece of paper. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the system that we live in, if people are brave enough to admit it, it is communism. It's fascism and communism. There's no freedom. You don't own nothing. You're not allowed to own anything. No one can come and take this out of my hands, really. All right? My little chest expander. Oh, that hurts today. Because it's to me, if and I've always had this mentality. Hello, Merv. All right, Gorge. Miss Penguin. Oh, you Specsavers point blank refused to serve my company policy. Specsavers. I'll go to Poundland. Well, actually, I'm online. I order everything online now. I know we shouldn't, but I can't be going down them gangster high streets. Leave off them dangerous places. Everyone's turned into a fucking idiot. Walk in a line. You can only walk one day down. But me, that's me. I'll be walking the other way. Sir, you walk the wrong way. Fuck off. Don't tell me how I can and can't walk up and down the bloody high street, you nonce. Go on, go and do one. Go and find a proper job. Just because you failed your grades at school, bless you. Charlie Veach. Charlie's been on the scene a long time. Protecting people the other day from a firm up north, SB Saint or other. Trying to find someone 120 quid. Not wearing a mask in the high street. Charlie's going up. Shame on you. May God have mercy on your soul. And I make Charlie right. Make Charlie right. God have mercy on these people's souls. Why have we turned into this country where we're attacking each other? We've now got a system that attacks us. The police attack us. Take our cars, take our kids, take our homes. Use violence. There's no law can prevail when violence is involved, ladies and gentlemen. No law. So, we're here. We're administering the law. No, you're administrating force. Two different things. Massive difference in law and force. Hand a hock. Put your hands up. You could be out seeing with a little German soldier years ago. Nice chap. Then all of a sudden he points his rifle at you. Hand a hock. Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, or get your own gun out and have a go back. That's the thing with force. It's always the agitator with the weapons that wins that battle. That's why the police are all smashing your windscreens, putting triplex in your face. Do you know how dangerous and a real savage place we've become when that happens? Because you ain't got a piece of paper, because you've done 36 and a 30. They get involved in all sorts of calumny. Let me tell you. So we're in communism, we're in fascism, It's whether or not you're brave enough to admit that to yourself. Whether you can see through the veil. Do you understand how it all works? Capitalism for them, communism. Now, there's a guy on YouTube called Auditing Britain. He goes by the name of AB. He's brilliant. If anyone knows him, I'd like to get a sovereign decree wrapped around him, because I'd like to see what happens when the police grill him or touch him. I want to see him give them a sovereign decree and see how they respond. Very powerful. Very, very, very powerful. There was one he done yesterday where he's talking Italian and the old Bill's screaming at him, "I want your name!" And he went, "Why? I ain't done nothing, you narcissist. I want your name, date of birth." Well, whilst the police want your date of birth, they want your address, where'd you live? Well, I live everywhere. I'll be dead. But they're trying to do is qualify you and attach the fiction to the living, breathing soul, because we've all been unlawfully converted, and a constructive fraud has taken place at birth. Because you wasn't birthed, you was born. Makes sense? So I own that bike. Not really anyone can come and take that from me. It's not registered. I can go out on the roads. I can do 40, 50 mile an hour on that. Do I need a license? No. Could I kill someone? Absolutely. Do I need insurance? No. That makes sense. All upside down. Why do I need all this stuff when I go out on the road? Because you register. Give up ownership. The word register means to negate ownership. Give up responsibility. Nah, ain't fucking mine. I'm just a keeper. I'm just the one that does all the shit. And then when the corporation decides it's time's enough and they want to get that motor off the road because they don't like what you're doing, there's a good chance you're going to be harmed really badly. You might even have your face planted on the tarmac. That's a particular beautiful skill they love nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. Putting your head on the tarmac, staying on the back of your neck with their jack boots. They love that. That's kinky shit right there. They're there all day long. Get down the floor, bitch. Yeah, I'm fucking a Y50 here. I'm Sweeney. I'm Cagney and Lacey. I'm your Bodie and fucking Doyle. Get on the floor. Don't look up. You can't look up. I've got my head on you. I've got my foot on the back of your neck. Disgusting. I really detest it. I really do. So we don't own nothing. You're not allowed to own anything. You can't own your kids. You can't own your homes. You can't own your cars. What's the point? What's the point? You had dominion over the earth. You was given dominion over the earth. You was born to the world. You wasn't birthed. Makes sense? When a ship comes into harbour, Australian ship coming over full of stuff, full of TVs, radios, knock-off DVDs, you name it, Bob's your uncle, Blu-ray films, blue films, red films. They're all on there. He pulls into his harbour. He berths in, comes into the waters, doesn't he? Bosh, straight into that lovely little birth canal. Comes in the birth canal, BERTH, birth canal. And he gets off his ship and he goes to see the harbour master, and it's all, bosh, what you got? Here's my certificate of manifestation. What you got on here? Oh, yeah. Sweet. Okay, yeah. Sign there. Bob's your uncle. Off comes the stuff. Into the country it goes. And that's no different from us. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you see how dangerous? What a game we're playing right now is dodge the bullet. Dodge the bullet. Don't pay council tax. You've got to try and keep your house. Don't take your kids to school. You've got to try and make sure your kids are not taken off by the social services, the SS, who are backed up by their bullies with weapons, right? SS want your kids. Nah, mate, you ain't having my kids. Cop comes round, gets his taser stick out. Oh, yeah, well, fucking hand up. What the fuck? Lay away. It's disgusting. Oh, but I am very pleased to say that people up and down and around this country and the world, make no mistake, they're rising like there's no tomorrow now. There's a video the other day of a Dutch grandmother. She's walked up to this cop and they tell him off. She's got her handbag over her arm. She goes, fucking, why are you beating people? And he swung this thing at her. She dodged the bullet. Bosh, she's over. He just looks at her. Fucking peasant. Didn't help her out. Didn't even care. He didn't care. If he'd have copped her with this thing, it could have killed her. But this is what they do. See how easy it is to shatter a bone when you get in your 70s. You've all seen them little chicken bones. Fucking, that's how it happens when you're in your 70s, man. This cop, no remorse. Nah, fuck you, you're on the floor. Not me, bitch. I'm surrounded. I've got my uniform on. Couple in France the other day, a woman and her daughter, it looks like. They're just up against the railing. They come over. They've got their big shields. These coppers, their big body armour on and their helmets, and they've got their truncheons, and they're smashing the shit out of these two. And I'm thinking, fuck me, France. You was only under the cosh less than 70 years ago. 1936 to 39, 39 to 45. I'm not sure when France got invaded. I think it was probably before we declared war. No, I'm not sure. I know that the expeditionary forces got bashed off the beaches. I mean, how we ever won that war, I've got no idea. But that's beyond the point. But you got to understand that a lot of these Nazis that after the war, they went to some places. Let me tell you, von Thingy, he went to NASA. One of them went to the NATO, the European Council. They've got Nazis in them everywhere. It's quite scary. But the point I'm trying to get to is you've got no control over your own life. You don't own your own life. These people deem to own you. And I think it's changing. I think the world's going to rise very soon. And I think you're going to see a lot of things that you're going to go, wow, that's amazing. And what a time to be alive. It's a nice time to be alive, right? Do you get that fire in your belly when you get involved with this sort of stuff? When you help someone, you stop a bailiff, when you stop social services taking children, do you get that fire in your belly? I do. I get a massive fire in my belly that I've done something good for my brothers and sisters. We're not supposed to be treated like this, ladies and gentlemen. We are so far from being treated like this. But we need to change this system. And there's so much going on around this country and around the world right now. If they come in using force, we have the Lord defending ourselves against the attack, or they will get us more flogged. It's disgusting. They're the system's out of touch. Anyway, this AB yesterday, he's gone to a fire station. I'm trying to think where it was. And the first geezer, because the door was open, I think someone farted, and that opened up the door. And this bloke, he's just up there with his video camera, and this bloke's coming out. He goes, "You all right, mate? What are you filming for?" So I'm just looking round. He said, I like to record public notice boards and public buildings. He said, "Oh, this ain't public. This is owned by the council." He says, "What I mean, public building?" He went, No. This ain't public. This is owned by the county council. He said, "Well, the people own the county." No, he said, "This is owned by the council." I'm like, council can't own nothing. Councils are a trust. They're just administrators. Or they used to be before they become the Fourth Reich. He said toilets are public buildings, libraries, public buildings, where the public, and I've never met anyone who's a member of the public. Never. I've only ever met men and women. I've never met anyone in the public. I've never been on public transport. I've been on a bus or a train or an airplane. I've not been on public transport. It's a nonsense. It don't exist. It's a construct. But this fireman come out, the stroppy one come out, and he did calm himself down a little bit after when he realised that AB weren't no threat, and now they say it was the current climate. I'm like, where was this current climate, man? That's all they used. Oh, yeah, well, we got to think about the risk level. What fucking risk level? And here's the kicker. All these public servants talk about this risk level and the threat terrorism. They're allowing this to happen because they want you under the cosh, right? They want you all stupid, dumbed down, ignorant. You've got to understand, they're the catalyst. They're the ones that have allowed this to happen, ladies and gentlemen. They're the ones that are allowing all these murders, rapes, pillages to go on because there's no moral compass with these people. They're you got to think of the threat level of terrorism. Well, you mean people coming in from other countries want to blow us up? Yeah. There's a hotel at the minute, I think it's called the Grand in Sunderland, that is full of people that have come over from other countries through immigration that's landed on the beaches in boats. None of them vetted. We don't know these people. We don't know whether they're coming for peace or war or to slit anyone's throat. I'm going to tell you how it is because it could affect you. And you have a right to know. All being paid by the beautiful, beautiful British taxpayer, whoever they are. More fool them. So don't you see that they're allowing this to happen? Because it suits their agenda. Because they can always play this, with the threat levels up here. Well, we've got to keep you lot safe, haven't we? It's our job. Yeah, it is, yeah. You become a right fucking tyranny, Constable, let me tell you. More the physical defence at the time of them abusing us. They don't care. They own us. They honestly, the way they slam us up against cars and it's ownership. It's like you might as well live on a big cotton plantation. Yeah? You might as well just be cotton picking out there. You might as well be. You might as well be. It's disgusting what goes on. Black, white, Chinese, brown, we're all in the same boat, ladies and gentlemen. There ain't no discrimination of colour with this slavery system we all find ourselves in right now. Some slaves have a better life than others. I mean, I'm doing all right. So on the slavery front, I do all right. But we're all out there, like I say, dodging the bullet. Done 36 in a 30, you done 55 in a 50-mile-an-hour speeding zone. You've got these people with their speed cameras hiding in unscrupulous places. They're not putting their signs out to let you know, 300 yards, there's a speed camera. No, none of that. No, they just click, 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 click. Such a money spinner. And the peasants keep on fucking paying it. I don't pay none of them. They send a speeding fine for it for me. Ain't for me. It's for a legal name. They own the name. I don't own it. I can't use it. Nothing to do with me. I send it back to the Crown. I say, I think you find the Crown owns this name. You crack on. Ain't nothing to do with me. This is the world we're coming into. These are the truths that we know. And I know a lot of the stuff that I talk about might, to a lot of people, be the first time they've heard it. But let me tell you, I debate with you. You can prove me wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll admit I'm wrong. I'm not too big for my boots where I don't think if I've done something wrong or bad, I won't apologise. Yeah, I will. We're all kunta kinte. There you go. There you go. All right, Davey Wilson. All right, son, how we going? You all right? So, people are rising. There's been some phenomenal things happen this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Nottingham Police have released a statement saying that they want to thank everybody yesterday that turned out for the protests. Not one arrest. Arrest means to stop. Not one arrest. And the police are sending you a very loving thing. I think they realise. I think the pen is finally starting to drop with the old bill. I think many constables up and down this country now are thinking, fucking hell, what have we been involved in? No crime, no victim. No victim, no crime. End of. Can only have a crime if you've got a corpus delicti and you have mens res and actus reus. You need the intent and the harm. Other than that, statutes, summary offences, they're codes, they're rules, they're not laws. Doesn't say anywhere that they're law. They're an act. And Shakespeare said the world's a fucking stage. Has anyone heard of Cyrus Parsay? What he's saying is absolute tyranny. Is this a geezer? Is this a man called Cyrus Parsay? Is that to do with Parsay sentence, grammar and all that malarkey? All good, mate, and you're good? Yeah, I'm good every day. I'm good every day. I tell you, I live the dream. Not once worn a muzzle. No, I'm not having one of them things on. The one up the road, which I reported on the other day on my Facebook profile, has blown itself up the road about 15 foot. I walked past it and I looked down. I thought, fucking flash, little mouse. He's got a Lacoste sleeping bag. He's got his own little tent. Look at him, little mousey. Then I had closer inspection. I put my glasses on. I thought, that's a discarded face mask amidst all the other bottles and cigarette packets and sandwich packets and Greg's wrappers and all this and that. The country used to be quite a clean place. It's filthy now. People just want to throw it all out of their car windows. Can't wait to get it out of there. The window comes down. I blame electric windows. The window comes down. Bosh. Straight out there, because you have to wind. There's a bit of energy involved in there, because obviously these people are too lazy cunts to take their rubbish home with them. Excuse my French. Yeah, I used the C word. It's disgusting what they're doing. Too lazy to put it on their passenger seat, take it home, put in a little bag, put it in their bin. Oh yeah, no, far too lazy. So they have to press the window down. The window comes down. Bosh. They throw the rubbish out. The stuff I pick up, my God, bottles. And here's a kicker. My friend's daughter rides one of our ponies. She first started riding the pony one Saturday. I walked up near my front gate, so I don't know why I was hesitating out there, but I thought I'd just stay around it for a minute, and I heard a click, clock, come run up the road. I didn't know if it was someone with horse and cart and that, and then all of a sudden it slowed down, and I thought, oh, wait a minute. So I'm looking over my gate, and all of a sudden, up the road, I've come face to face with my pony. Little Jade's looking at me, and I'm looking at her thinking, where's the rider? Well, the rider's 400, 500, 600 yards down the road on the floor, because the horse has walked along the grass verge, stood on a plastic bottle. Bosh leapt up in the air, took off. Yeah, she's on it, thrown her off, done her leg in, because people are too selfish to take. They're too lazy to take their rubbish home and put it in the bin. Luckily, she didn't need hospital. I opened up the gate because the horse come up to me, and I got hold of it by the reins, thinking, we ain't got a rider here. Something's not right. So I brought the horse in, tied it up, and I went down the road. Well, as I was just going down the road, this woman, passerby, bless her heart, picked up the injured party and my missus and her mother, and brought them back in her car. Unbelievable, because people are too lazy to take their rubbish home and throw it in the bin. That's the country we've become. And let me tell you that as well. I'm seeing some... Ladies, I want to explain something about femininity, right? And feminism. Two completely different things. Femininity is awesome. It is beautiful. When a woman is pregnant and she's glowing and she's got all of her luster about her, that's femininity at its finest, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Feminism, on the other hand, is an ugly bastard. I've just seen a picture of all these feminism women walking down an escalator because they're campaigning for something, and they've all got their tits out. They've all got... I'm telling you, it looks terrible. It's like carnage. There's no style in that. There's no class in that. Have a bit of class about you. Just have a nice bit of finery about you. Do you know how powerful it is to just have a nice bit of... I've met some people in my time, right? Let me tell you. They always say first impressions count. You've all seen that Head and Shoulders advert, haven't you? Because first impressions count. Yeah, I've got a bald mate. He only uses the shampoo called Shoulders. He don't use the head stuff. He just gets the shoulders one. And I've met a lot of people. And the dudes that have really impressed me the most, the ones that I've paid most attention to, are the ones that are very quiet, the ones that hold themselves in good esteem, and the ones that dress really smartly. They're scary. At times they can be scary. When they go quiet, man, I'm fucking telling you, you got to wonder what... But if they're all la, 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 no, all hanging out, no, it's just not classy. Germaine Greer, the woman that stood up for femininity and all that years ago, and gay rights, lesbian rights, all that stuff, which is okay. It's not a problem. If it's your bag, it's your bag. Well, Germaine Greer was in a cake shop about 2 years ago, and my mate Dawn, she's a nurse, yeah? Put fingers up people's bums, does their temperature and weight in hospital. She's got it all down. Puts a glove on, though. She sees Germaine Greer and she goes, that's right, Germaine, how you going, darling? Yeah, what? And Germaine Greer don't look too happy. She went, oh, I can't believe it. She said, what are you on about? She said, well, I've just gone to one of our meetings, and because I won't support transgenderism and all this other stuff and Petergate and all that, she said, they've shoved me, kicked me out. I founded this fucking movement, she's going. She said, now they've turned their back on me. I'm like, well, you can't fix fucking stupid. You can't fix stupid people. You really can't fix stupid. So Germaine Greer, deplatformed. Quite a nice woman, Germaine Greer. Had a niceness about her. She campaigned the right way. Awesome. But they've turned her back now because these feminism things, I don't know what that's all about. Listen, it's not classy. I'm standing up for ladies' rights, for the vote, and getting all this Emmeline Pank. I get it. Are you kidding me? I get it, man. I love my rights, and I think women's rights are exactly the same as a man's rights. But when you all start keep punching it on us and keep driving it down our throats. I'm a straight guy, right? It's just the way nature intended me. I don't have a problem with gay people. I don't go out shouting on street corners, I'm fucking straight and you're going to have some of it. You're going to bow down to me. No class in that. If you're gay, go and have a nice gay day. It don't matter, but have some class about you. Do it on the QT. There's more style involved in that. You know, wear nice clobber, have a nice way about you. All this screaming, shouting, I'm gay, I'm into transgender, and you keep drumming it into everybody else. I'm so wonderful, I'm so worthy. And now it's really starting to wear thin. It's really starting to wear thin, and it ain't doing you no favours. It's really not. Because power comes from silence. Power comes from that energy. Power comes from standing in your own divinity and just doing what you want to do. You don't have to scream and shout about it. I guess that's the world we live in now. Facebook, everyone's sharing their, look what I've had for lunch today. Whoa, yeah, look at them sausages that people are putting pictures of. Who gives a fuck? Who cares what you had for dinner? Who cares? It's crazy, man. We're in a right old weird place. Auntie Mandy, hello, darling. Mark Busby, all right, Gorge. David Wilson saying, hello, Auntie Mandy. So, it's exciting times. We are in exciting times. There's a lot of stuff happening. And if I was in the old Bill right now, I would be paying attention to the groundswell. There's a massive groundswell. Let me just turn my security camera's screen on so I can see who's at my gates and that. Yeah, no, we're all good. There's a massive groundswell in this country from all elements and all divisions of the so-called truth movement, whatever that is. I'm not too sure what that is because everyone's idea of the truth is somewhat different from everybody else's. But if we just come into acceptance of who we are and accept somebody for some guy comes up to me and says, I'm gay. I say, so what? Who gives a fuck? I don't care. You happy? That's all right. That's all that matters. I don't get it. I don't get this drive. We're strong. I don't get it. It's certainly not classy as far as I'm concerned. I'm hardly classy. But I do know how to hold myself most of the time. I try and know what's the difference between right and wrong. I do. My moral compass is pretty much a decent benchmark, I think. And you know your moral compass because whenever you think about something that's bad's happened to someone, you normally get that little turn in your gut and the back of your legs. You get a little tingle when you think about one of your loved ones that's passed and that. It makes you feel that you get that inner shaking, that's your moral compass. Someone's asked you to do something, go over there and shoot that dog. You go, what? Yeah, it's your moral compass. All these, you know what's right or wrong. You don't need to be told. It's inherent. You should know where and how far you can push the boundaries. Now, I'm not for breaking the law. I love the law, but we don't have law. We have statutes and acts. They're not laws. And we have this corporate communist machine. We're going to take your car. We're going to take your kids. We're going to take your houses. I think we're at a point now where they've gone past the decency level, you know. What we should have is a system that offers support and bolsters you. We should have a network of public servants that if you lose your house and you find yourself homeless, you've got the ability to go and get another one easily. If you stumble on hard times, you should have a system that says, here you go, don't worry, go on, crack on. I'll tell you for why. If you encourage that mentality in a country, in a race, whatever, you get stronger, you get bigger. And this is where the public servants have failed to recognise that at some point, this dog-eat-dog, Hunger Game thing is going to bite them in the arse. But they would have been more profitable and had a greater time and an easier time if they'd been nice to us. If they didn't keep robbing us and we just all went through this world, oh, yeah, I'm contributing. Yeah, I am. Yeah. Oh, and you didn't have to start questioning what's going on. It's gone too far. And I actually think the system's lost control. I really do. And I think the police in our country need stymieing. They need shutting down, in as much as we need to bring them back straight away to the rule of law. That would be the most awesome thing that we could do as a country right now. If you ever want to lean on any organisation, if you all come together in your hundreds of thousands, you just stand them fuckers down. You bring them back to what they were sworn in to do. Public servants were sworn in to serve and protect, not rob and collect. That's not what they were sworn in to do. And although they do swear these oaths, and there's pointless, what's the point in swearing an oath if you're not going to mean it? What's the point in swearing an oath if you're not going to stand by it? It's pointless. Absolutely pointless. Like a blunt pencil. So, they're just interested in, no, you're not having my child. Hand a hock, taser, mace spray, handcuffs, batons, guns. Well, we're having that child. Why? Because the judge said so. I'll never forget seeing this Indian copper, bless him. Oh, that's 7-8 years ago now, when he took John Hawkins' house up at Dartford, and I was there trying to see reason with Kent Police, and I come away that day fucking haunted because these people are as thick as fuck. This Indian copper said to my mate when questioned, and I'm stood there recording, and he said, why are you doing this? He said, because the judge has made an order. Followed it without even questioning what's going on. Would he have followed that order if the judge had ordered that you go out and shoot kids? Or just shoot people if they don't agree with you? If the judge made an order today, listen, anyone gives you grief in the street, you just fucking shoot them dead. We got your back. Would they do it? I have to think they might do. That bothered me when I see that copper just standing there and say, the judge has made an order. I'm thinking, fucking hell. Ooh. So we don't have a people by the people thing, do we? We have a corporation mugging us off. And we're being royally mugged off. And I don't know how long they can keep this gig up for before they've took everything, sold everything. They've sold all the bridges, the land, the trains, everything. It's all sold off, and you're paying the right royal price for it now. I mean, I'm doing all right. I've got a good lifestyle. But even I'm thinking to myself, bloody hell, the price of food, this, that, the other. Lord knows how other people are getting on. People on benefits, people on jobs and paying all their taxes. And I'm just like, how are they doing it? How are they doing it? I'm lucky. I ain't got a mortgage or nothing. I'm all paid up. I've always been good with my hands. How do people get on nowadays? It's scary. Police are being retaught common law. They arrested active patriot on an old common law charge the other day for being in a public car park. Well, the common law is no injury, harm and loss. So if you're just sat on a park bench, being in a public car park, well, are you sure they're being retaught common law? They need to be taught common law because we're a land of common law jurisdiction. This land is land of common law jurisdiction. Look, I'll get into the Constitution a bit briefly with you people. This land is formulated on English rule of law, right? And for as well as I know, we still have the rule of law. Because Boris Johnson, when he got sworn in as Prime Minister, he made a massive part. His first ever address to the people at Downing Street was, "We are a nation of habeas corpus and the rule of law." Well, the rule of law is common law. It's not acts and statutes. The national debt goes up £5,600 a second. If you go and look at the national debt clock, can't pay it off. Waste of time. You can kill all the pensioners. You can rape the kids. You can take the kids and foster them out. Never going to pay it off. You're just going to destroy yourselves. You're just going to destroy your country, your people. You're going to end up in proper turmoil unless you all decide to stand up now and be brave and be counted. So we've got the Bill of Rights, we've got the Petition of Rights, we've got the Charter of Liberties, we've got the Magna Cartas. We've got this, what makes up our common law. Government can't even tie its own shoelaces, ladies and gentlemen. These people are idiots, but yet we're allowing them to boss us. To be honest with you, if you're government, you should just walk around with a Hugo Boss shirt on all the time. It just says boss, because that's what you think you are. America, India and Russia don't have a penny debt. There you go. Jassara. I think Trump's all right, to be fair. I hope Trump's all right. They've sold our country off. Yes, they didn't fucking ask my permission. Did they ask your permission if we can sell your country off? No. Of course they didn't. We've got a dominion over the earth, ladies and gentlemen. We have, me and you, and all of you tuned in right now, we have dominion over the earth. Our value is our life, our soul, our spirit. It's not money. It's not a piece of paper. It's not the shit that we put on. It's not the houses we live in. They're not valuable. They're assets, tangible assets. This is the value. This, the soul, the spirit, the essence, the whatever it is you want to call us. We're the value. We've just forgotten that. The video you shared on Facebook, that cockpit in the old one with a baton in Holland. The Dutch, they were invaded by the Germans. They strolled out on their push bikes and their banjos. And the Germans rolled up in tanks. What's your thought on this Jassara and Asara business, Dave? Claire Roberts says, not sure. Like all this Q stuff, I want to see evidence. I want to see the facts. Once we start seeing the facts, then yeah, it's true. You start seeing the fallout. You start seeing. I have been hearing that there's been a lot of debt wiped off, student loans wiped off. There's people gone into their credit files and they've all been repaired. There is that side of it. There's a good chance that it is happening. I think it needs to happen. I think our banking cartel in this country are sinful. I think they are the cause of all of this trouble. All the misery, pain and suffering in this world, every child that gets taken by the state, every car that gets impounded, every house that a family lose is all at the hands of these fucking bankers. If I had it my way, I'd line them all up on the edge of the bridge and give them a choice. You either pack it up or you go in. Head fucking first into the Thames. They're disgusting. They're evil. Ashmere Rothschild said years ago, allow me to control the money. I care not who makes the law. Trump sorting it out. It's not valid because Pedo signed that Brexit agreement, makes it worthless. Rothschild's banks, they're evil people. To actually think that you can own and control another man or a woman, that's pretty evil. That's Dick Dastardly right there. No man can own another. Not a chance. But the point is this, we're in a situation now where you don't own your car, you don't own your home, you don't own your child. You sign it over to the state for benefits. I got my child allowance. Brilliant. You got your child benefit because you sold your child. Your child's now owned by the state. Do you feel good about that? We've all done it. Everyone's done it. It's the system. But the thing is, the system's come into full view. It's got ugly. Back in my time, no one really paid attention to it because it weren't. We've just allowed really nasty, evil fucking people to get into these positions. And they're all going to be judged. I think it's Isaiah that says, all shall stand in judgment and answer for what they did in the body, good or bad. We're not here to judge them. But they shall be known by their deeds. That's another biblical quote. They shall be known by their deeds. And these people, with their violence and their wickedness, will definitely be known by their deeds, let me tell you. Don't forget to share and like. All from Fraud back to Waterloo, says Durfee. Yes, mate, yeah. Who gave permission for them to sell off the country? Not me. They need to be sacked, a lot of them. I mean, you go over the Dartford Tunnel, you got to pay. I don't pay. They're my roads. They're your roads. I'm not begging to use my property. The roads are my property. All right. The councils work on behalf of me in trust for my benefit. That's how I see it. I'm the beneficiary and executor of all that goes on in this world. Why the fuck would I have to pay to use my own roads? Why the fuck would I allow a copper to drag me out of my own property? Unless, of course, something's gone on and that I've signed something or done something where these people are led to believe that they own it. They don't own us. We own them. Why? Because we created them. God, man, government, police, all further down. We created them. We allowed this to happen. And we've now got to undo this. We need all the veterans. We need all them veterans. We need all them brave people there. So to get the young ladies that have been abused on the podium talking on their microphones. Man, I had tears in my eyes. They're so brave. They're so brave. Standing up and telling it as if I was in the system right now and I'd been involved in all these judges, all these other things, I'm telling you, they're coming for you. The people will come for you. In all your towns and cities, you might have big houses surrounded by big metal gates, but these people are coming for you. It's too big now. There's no place for them to hide. No place for them to hide whatsoever. Thank you, David. And to all that, just shared and like. Thank you, Durfee. You're a gorgeous soul. Stuart James. All right, son. How's it going? You all right? Lovely to see you. Hi, Dave and folks. Just tuned in. Sonia Ballard Scott. Hello, darling. How are you? You all right? So yeah, we don't own our cars. We don't own our homes. We don't own fuck all. That's why they turn up. And I'll never forget a bailiff come here about 5 years ago. Little stroppy bastard from Marston's. They're a particularly nasty bunch, they are. And he sat outside my gate staring at me like Rocky Balboa. And I went, what do you fucking want, something? Prick. That's how I talk to these people. Sorry. I'm not cowed. I'm not going to bow down. They don't want to come down to my house and take my stuff, my equity. Yeah, there's going to be some beef. You fucking best believe there's going to be some beef. I work hard for what I've achieved in my life. I'm certainly not going to have some corporate scumbag trying to come and fucking rob me. And he sat there in his little van. I went, you can't jump the gate, can you? Can't force entry. I see the steam coming out of his ears. I said, what do you want with my property? He said, it's not your property. I went, well, whose is it then, fuckface? Whose is it? Go and find the man or woman that's told you that my house and my property is their property and they've got to go and get it back. Go and get them. I want to meet them. I want to have it out with them. Why you think you own my house, my car, my life, my children? What's all that about? I want to meet this mother trucker. Don't exist, do they? Don't exist. It's terrible, the state we've got in. Guys, we've really got to get out of this. You know, freedom for me, if I look up the definition of freedom in the dictionary, my old 1860 dictionary, it probably means something that you can't buy. Something that says more than maybe a 7-letter word. A friend of mine, ex-CID, quite a few years ago, we was at golf. And afterwards, we went and sat in the bar, had a bit of grub and whatever. And he said, I've been watching you all day, all your Facebook lives and that. He said, But when you consider the time you spend on it and the time you take and the risks you take, is it worth it? And I looked at him, I said, mate, I said, if you've got to ask me that question, you really don't understand what I'm doing, do you? Freedom. Do you remember freedom? I want you to dig into your souls right now. I want you to dig into the vibration of you. Freedom. Your God-given freedom, your God-given rights. Do you still have any? Got to wonder, haven't you? If we don't join together and say enough, they will come knocking at our doors. There you go. Exactly what they did in the Germans. I've just seen a very sad picture, actually, of a young girl who's an artist that coloured in the picture. I'm going to see if I can find it. It's quite shocking viewing. You might want to turn away. It's a depiction and a picture of someone that was involved in the Holocaust. But you can see the tears in this kid's eyes, man. And just the silence of it. I can imagine that when this was going on and this young girl knew of her impending fate, she must have just froze, man. Her soul must have just froze. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Let me see if I can find it. I want you to take a look at this girl. Bless her heart. This is what happens when you let fascism and communism take over your country. She's got her ID tag on just before she was shot. She's only 11. If you can see her eyes and her tears in her eyes, she knew what was coming next. She knew what was coming next. She's got her ID number on her. It's just shocking film. I'm not going to let that happen to my country. I'm certainly not going to let that happen to you lot either. Not on this watch. Not on my watch. No, ain't happening. A girl I know was about to put a mask on yesterday going into the co-op. I walked straight in without one. She saw her in the shop. She put her mask back in her pocket. Boom! That's what I'm talking about. Bless ya. Bless ya. They're working it out now, aren't they? Where's that picture from, Dave? It's from someone called Holger Borge. Holgei is the first name. The last name is Borgsted. I'll show you the name of the individual. You might have to freeze it and watch it back later. That's a shocking picture, isn't it? But that should be a reminder of what happens when we want to live in fascism and communism and never be allowed to own anything. And when you let your public servants take, bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. That's exactly what Adolf Hitler did. Adolf Hitler didn't just walk in and go, oh, yeah, I'm here. I'm sorting this out. Never happened. Never, ever happened. Right? Never happened. It was slowly. You can't say this. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. Adolf Hitler was left of politics. They were lefties. They weren't righties. Right and left, same wings with the same bird. As far as I can see, politics for me is I hate it. It's a massive distraction from the truth. But Adolf Hitler was a lefty. He certainly wasn't on the right. He was left. And it was, you can't say this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. The promotions that he did, very openly promoted homosexuality. Why? Because he found that it was easy to control people once he got them into compromising situations, yeah? Even there was some very high people that worked in his cabinet that he caught like that, and then they were forever in his debt, so that he didn't publicly ridicule them. Whether that's the same sort of thing that we have going on here, I don't know. I'm not here to judge that kind of stuff. But it was a slow process. of the rise of that man and his party. It didn't happen overnight. The German people bought into it over periods of time, they bought into it. They said, yeah, no, it's fine. You keep taking, you keep putting us. I'm just waiting for the system to just gear up that little level and really up the violence. We've seen it in Melbourne. Melbourne pretty much is in a really dangerous place right now. Our brothers and sisters in Australia. Brendan Casey, fantastic independent journalist from Australia there, has been pumping the information out there for the last few years, and I'll give great credence to Brendan Casey. He is a massively gorgeous individual. His music I find a little bit hard to listen to. It's that like grimy. I can't listen to it. It does me ears in. But nonetheless, I'm not taking nothing away from him. He's fantastic. So Melbourne is under the cosh. We've got places in Melbourne that are not allowed out there, blocks. But if you've got a dog, you can take the dog out for a piss. That don't make sense to me. So the dog's got more rights than people. How'd that ever happen? I love going around Lidl and the Co-op with no mask on. I always smile and have a great chat with the girls on the checkout. They know what I'm doing. I'm spreading the love, understanding, and freedom. What, my son? Power to the people. Have it. People don't see the soul of people in their eyes. The eyes tell a lot about you. You kidding? That's why I'm blind. He hasn't been dead that long. Oh, Adolf. No, he had an autoimmune disease. Actually, whilst we're talking about that, I come across something yesterday. Now, don't. Just bear with me on this one. Exodus chapter 30. Now, we're all looking for health, wealth, vitality. Let me just get my bigger glasses, which are behind here, because I need them to read this. Exodus chapter 30. Now, bear with me. It's all about making a thing called anointed oil, right? Now, this is a powerful, powerful thing. Just bear with me. I've got to find it. But it talks about a thing called cannabosum in the Bible. In Exodus chapter 30, I'm trying to find it. It talks about cinnamon, frankincense, and myrrh, cinnamon. Here we go. Right. Now, I'm looking for people to help me out with this, because I think we've stumbled on something here. Moreover, the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, take thou also unto thee these chief spices of flowing myrrh, 500 shekels, and of sweet cinnamon, half so much, even 250, and the sweet of calamus, 250, and of cassia, 500, and the shekel of the century, and of olive oil, and thou shalt make it into a holy anointing oil, a perfume compound after the art of perfumer. But down here it also mentions a thing called cannabosum. Cannabosum. That's cannabis. You'll find it. Read chapter 30 onwards. I'm trying to find it. I found it the other day. Why can't I find it? It talks about a thing called cannabosum in here. And I'm like, that's cannabis. That's probably a Hebrew translation or something for cannabis. Cannabosum. Anyway, so this is talking about making a healing oil. Yeah. I'm going to dig more into this. I think that there's a lot I was just reading it the other day, and I'm like, this is an oil that the Bible's telling us to use to make that heals us. Maybe. Cannabusum. Where I can't find the words. Anyway, have a good read of it and come back. If there's anyone out there that uses essential oils, so what we're looking for is myrrh, but it has to be flowing myrrh. So I would say that that's probably the stuff that weeps out the myrrh tree. Sweet cinnamon. So I think we can get cinnamon essential oils. Calamus, cassia, and olive oil. But there is a part in here that talks about cannabusum. Now I read that and I sat there and I got transfixed on these words called cannabusum, and I thought to myself, that's cannabis. That's cannabis, CBD. It's amazing. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of that in there. This is the oil that Mary washed Jesus' feet with and used her hair to do it with. Wow, is it? Change my glasses back over. Them ones are too strong for me. I need them reading. I was halfway round Lidl and the store manager asked me, where's the gag? Said I'd leave the shopping, but he said they'd take my money on this occasion. Needless to say, won't be going to that place again. This is the dichotomy that all these places, these shops that are enforcing these lockdown measures, they don't win. They're not going to win. I'll tell you for why. My local golf course, they're not having people in the bar and food and all that proper now. So now they're emailing out saying, we're doing 60% off of our food. Now, here's the kicker. You're getting all these things, these restaurants saying we're doing 50% off food. Fantastic. Does that mean it was 50% too dear in the first place? I've been saying they've been using food as a weapon for quite a few years now. When I was a kid, we never, ever questioned and worried about the cost of food. It was something you just did. You just went out and bought your food. Didn't cost that much. You went down to your supermarkets or your little hardware stores or shops. Most shops back when I grew up around Meeting House Lane and that in Peckham, there'd be a shop we used to go to in Meeting House Lane. They'd do the sweets, crisps, drinks, this, that, the other, wagon wheels when wagon wheels were big. Do you remember the big wagon wheels, the big steering wheels? Bosh. And over there, they'd have the fruit and veg. You'd have a guy you'd have the ham section where he used to start the machine up and slice the ham off. My mum never ever seemed to worry about the price of food. It was something the old man used to bring home pie and mash in newspaper on a Friday. We'd all sit there and tuck into that. Bosh, have some of that. I never ever remember my mum and dad having to question the price of food, really. And they had nothing. My mum and dad, bless them, they didn't have a lot when we were youngsters, let me tell you. They never did. So because this food price is so expensive and we're slicing 50% off, that's a good thing, right? But does it mean we've just been mugged off all this time in any case? I mean, some places you go, you can pay 20 quid plus for a steak, 40 quid for a steak. I'll never forget, we went to Buenos Aires, which is an Argentinian down in Maidstone. We had a guy working for us at the time who was Polish with about a 58-inch chest, Frank, and he had this steak that was 40 quid. I went, okay, now can we not take them to all you can eat next time? Do you know what I mean? It's not the shop refusing you entry, it's the man or woman. There you go. But they're going to ultimately lose. Apparently, there was a study come out the other day that now 2 million people less are going to. There's 2 million people less in this country now going to supermarkets. They're going to bring about their own demise. I think we just got a new subscriber. Let's give a bit of a shout out to my new subscriber. Let's just find these details. They're just popping up on my other screen. Who we got here? We've got a new subscriber. As in Bronte366. Well, I thank you, Bronte366. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for subscribing. You might want to hit the bell button for future notifications. Give me a little thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. It keeps the streams going, which is fantastic. My channel's growing slow, but I'm happy with that. Don't bother me. My sheep, was it Jesus said, my sheep hear my voice and they know, and I know them. And I just want people that tune into my frequency and vibration, that want their country back, that want some decent things back. I don't want the idiots that just want to come in and slag people off because they think they're worthier than now. And we've just got to humble ourselves, right? We've just got to humble ourselves and do what's right for our people and our country. He told me it was the law. Go on, Claire Roberts. I told, no. When I got to the checkout, I smiled on the old boy and he tugged on his gag and shouted, "Where's your mask?" I said, "I'm exempt. Got to say no problem in co-op BQ." Look, listen, to have to walk round with a piece of paper that says you're exempt from wearing a mask is a bit like that picture I just showed you of that poor Polish 11-year-old kid with a identification on. We're men and women. Pieces of papers don't define us. A piece of paper from the doctors don't define us. It doesn't make it okay. The Germans used to have you had to have papers to go out with. They'd pull you up on the streets. Papers. If you run off, no, you ain't got papers, you run off, they shot you. Yeah, our police now, everywhere you go. ID, need your ID. Fuck off. How's about that? Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. I ain't done nothing wrong. Till I have. Kiss my ass. I like them words. They're powerful. I never forget seeing a young kid up in Leeds quite a few years ago. A male cop and a woman cop go out there on their push bikes. And he starts chatting to him. I'm not obliged to give you my details, am I? Oh, yeah, by the look. No, am I? Are you sure you got that right, Constable? You want to pull me over for no reason? You want to demand on the spot my details? Where am I? Nazi Germany? Anyway, the kid jogged on. So I'm not being detained. Am I? They went, no. And he went, oh, see you later then, bye. I get excited when I see youngsters standing up. I get excited when I see old people challenging these so-called public servants' authority. They're public servants, people. They are not our masters. They're not. They're not our masters. They're not our bosses. They're not here to beat us and bitch on us. They're here to work for us and be honourable. That's what they're there for. God bless you, Claire. Well done for standing up. We're covered under the Equalities Act of 2010. It's an act again, isn't it? You know, their laws, statutes and acts are what limits the Crown. It's what limits these public servants from doing what they're doing to us. But they're laughable. They're beating us up. Where did they ever get a mandate to beat us up? Where did they ever get mandated to drag us out of cars and smash windscreens in it? Do you know how dangerous that is? Wind your window down. Well, actually, no, I don't really feel like winding my window down. It's free country, isn't it? Bosh. Windscreens in. Out you go. Do you know how dangerous that is? But these people, I'm going to smash your windscreen. You fucking narcissist. Get out of my life. It's disgusting. We've got to be brave, people. We've got to stand up. We've got to challenge these public servants. They were only ever given powers and public office to serve, not to boss us. They're servants. And I mean that in the literal term of they're public sector workers. They serve. The fire brigade serve. The fire brigade deems to think that their land is owned by the council. Well, everything councils owns is in trust. The people pay for the councils. Yeah, it's all in trust. The councils can't claim to own anything. You own the councils, ladies and gentlemen. You do. You are all shareholders in it. And if you're not, then you've been swindled. Because you're a willing participant in it. Do you see how this is compounding and making this all worse for us? Or do you love tyranny? I'm happy to debate. Do you love paying your council tax and having them beat you? Do you love that? Do you sit at home? Do you think, I must pay my council tax this month because I need to have that jackboot firmly wedged on the back of my head? Or do you genuinely believe that these people are out there doing their best by you and looking after your property and keeping you safe? Personally, I see it as a mafia. Danger money. Keep us racketeering. It's like you pay us the thingy, otherwise we're going to come out. Oh, you get cancelled. You've got no choice. You've got to pay council tax. It's the law. It's not the law. It's a statute. It's an act. It needs consent. I don't consent. Well, we're going to take your ass off you then. Well, it's a bit forceful. Sounds like you're getting a bit forceful here. So So you don't own your homes. If another man or woman can levy on your home, if you don't pay it, we're going to take it off you. You didn't own it. It's not yours. Makes sense. Because he who has the apple in his hand, that's his apple. No man can take that apple off you. He who's got the banana in his hand, it's your right to peel the banana and eat the banana. But if someone can come along and go, bosh, that's mine, weren't yours in the first place, right? Didn't have dominion. It's definitely the mark of the beast. Wearing a mask causes you severe distress. It raises your CO2 levels. It's very dangerous, especially if you're wearing them for a prolonged period of times. And the discarding of these masks is disgraceful. The COVID cover is the NWO's cover. This is what they've come in under the radar. They've locked you all down. This is the New World Order's wet dream, COVID-19. It's their wet dream, ladies and gentlemen. They're bashing you over the head now. You can't go here, you can't go there. If you're going out here, you've got to wear a mask. You can't go shopping, get your food. It's about time we all said, fuck off. Leave us alone. Don't own us. We're a creation of God, the divine. We have dominion over the earth, ladies and gentlemen. Genesis chapter 20 onwards. We were given dominion over the earth. Men, reason, sound reason to use your own minds, to actually own property. We have that right, but we've lost it. We're now just corporate puppets in a corporate world, and we've got to sort this out. So if you're in the veterans, if you're in the services, if you're in the forces, if you're in the government right now and you see this has all gone Pete Tong, come and stand with us. If you're in the NHS and you know this is all baloney, be brave. Tell your stories. Get your stuff out there before it's too late. Get your words out before it's too late, ladies and gentlemen, and you let this corporate beast take over everything. Is that a world you want to live in? Don't think so. No, Jason, it's going to be on your right hand or in your forehead. Without it, you can't buy and sell. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of people having them put in their left hands in Holland and that to get an office. Say, guys, so easy, I'm going to get a sandwich. They've all got it in their left hand. Yeah, opening doors, people going, oh, well, they're not putting it in the right hand. People, you come into the world upside down. Your right was your left. Make sense? You come into the world upside down, ladies and gentlemen. So it is in your right hand. Make no mistake about it. The Bible is very, very specific on how you come into this world and that your left is your right. Because you come into the world upside down. Okay? Right, listen, I'm going to get going. I've been on here an hour and 15 minutes. I want to thank every one of you for patronising my channel. I want you to debate me. I want you to give your honest, true critiques on where we could get better, what we can do together as a collective, where you think we're all going. You are so important right now. Every single one of you. You are so important. You are the boots on the ground. You all need to be talking to your friends and families, getting the words out there, get them tuning in to Kate Schiamani, get them tuning into a little bit of Ike, get them tuning into Anna Breeze, get them tuning into Dr. Vernon Coleman, get them tuning into Vernon Coleman. These people are putting their necks on the line to bring you some good, wholesome truths. Just do yourself a favour. Just respect them for what they're doing. Because Dr. Vernon Coleman, he's putting his neck right on the line for what he's doing. And he's awesome. He's a national treasure. Make no mistakes about that. So, peeps, I'm going to go and have a workout now. I'm going to give Boris a right hiding right now. He's just about to get fury right on him. I love you all. Have blessed weeks. We're almost at the end of August. Where's this year gone? I mean, it was March, wasn't it? You all got locked down? Fuck. Lockdown. It's a con. I love you all. I'll see you all very soon. Have blessed days. Stay in that power. Stay in your self-awareness, your consciousness, your state of being. Don't give your power away, ladies and gentlemen, because the time is now to make a stand. I love you all. You're all awesome. Give yourself massive pats on the backs. You're amazing.